Minato Namikaze. Let's start with the man whose name alone could end a battle, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, the father of Naruto, and the shinobi who made the nickname Yellow Flash strike more fear than an army of Jinchuriki. Minato's legend is not about strength alone, it's about speed so insane that most enemies didn't even realize they had lost until it was over. During the Third Great Ninja War, the Stone Village under Tsuchika-ge Onoki is running wild. Their armies are stacked, they've got two Jinchuriki on the front lines, and Konoha is hanging on by a thread. The mission on the table: destroy Kannabi Bridge. That bridge was the lifeline for Stone's reinforcements. If it stood, Fire Country could collapse. Team Minato, Kakashi, Obito, and Rin got the bridge job. But Minato himself? He saw the front lines burning. Only 4 Leaf Shinobi were still alive, trying to hold out against what was left of 1,000 Iwa elites. And this is where Minato turned from prodigy to living myth. He steps onto the battlefield, drops a kunai marked with his Flying Thunder God seal, and vanishes. The next moment, entire squads of Iwa Shinobi are lying on the ground before they even process what happened. To the Stone Ninja, it looked like a storm of lightning struck them from every angle. But no, it was one man, one jutsu, moving faster than thought. We never get the full play-by-play in the manga or anime. But the result is clear. Minato took that battlefield, flipped it on its head, and erased Stone's momentum in a single night. Onoki himself admitted that Konoha only needed one man to stop the invasion. That's how deadly Minato's control of the Flying Thunder God was. And here's the key: Minato crushed morale, dismantled formations, and made the enemy surrender without wiping out every soldier. That level of battlefield awareness is what makes him the perfect one-man army. Onoki sat at the peace table, choking on his pride. Konoha got breathing room, and Minato carved his legend into ninja history as the man who could single-handedly turn a war. For Naruto, that legacy became a symbol proof that one shinobi with the right will and skill can change everything. Third Raikage. The third Raikage, father of the fierce fourth Raikage, stood as an unshakable warrior, his lightning cloak serving as both shield and blade. This technique wrapped him in raw electric energy, transforming him into a living storm. It was his essence, a power that roared through every muscle and bone, making him a legend in the hidden cloud village. Picture this: 10,000 enemy ninjas charging at you, a tidal wave of blades and fury, and you hold them off for 72 hours straight. 3 days. No sleep, no pause. Just you, cloaked in lightning, standing tall as chaos erupts around you. His lightning cloak wasn't some weak spark. It was like Chidori stretched across his entire body, boosting his speed to a blur, his strength to crush mountains, his defense to deflect 1,000 strikes. He used every ounce of that power to shield his retreating comrades, a wall of thunder between them and death. When his body was found, only one scar marked it, a single, lonely wound. Whispers say he drove the blade into himself when his chakra flickered out, refusing to let the enemy claim his life. No one else could touch him, feel the weight of that moment. He wasn't swinging for fame or flexing his might. He fought for his people, pouring his heart into every clash, every spark. His chakra didn't come from some tailed beast or ancient bloodline. It was pure, hard-earned will. Compared to chakra titans like Hashirama, who shaped forests with a gesture, or Madara, who summoned meteors, the third Raikage's power was simpler, grittier. He didn't need tricks. He had stamina that could outlast the sun. And yeah, he was basically the Thor of Naruto, laughing in the face of 10,000 foes like, "Come on, is that all you've got?" His son, the fourth Raikage, inherited that fire, that unyielding spirit. Proof that this man's sacrifice rippled through time. Tobirama Senjo. He's the guy who created the Flying Thunder God technique, so of course he had some serious sensory skills to go with it. Actually, Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage, was a true legend when it comes to sensory abilities. You know that iconic move where he places 2 fingers on the ground? That's how he activates his insane sensing powers. His range was straight up national level. With just a moment of focus, he was able to sense Madara's chakra from countries away. But it's not just about range. What really made Tobirama stand out was how accurate he was. During the First Great Ninja War, he sensed a group of 20 ninja from the Kinkaku force coming toward him. He didn't just figure out how many were coming, he could even tell which clans they belonged to based on their chakra. That kind of chakra reading made him an incredible strategist. I mean, think about it. Every clan has its own fighting style and special abilities. So if he knows the chakra types coming his way, he basically knows their powers, their tactics, their team comp, and how far away they are. Even from miles out. That's crazy. He died from exhaustion after staying behind to hold off those enemies, giving his guards and students a chance to escape during the war. And by the way, he was fighting 20 S-rank level ninjas, plus the infamous Ginkaku and Kinkaku, who basically have the power of 2 Akatsuki squads and some mini Ninetales modes thrown in. In a ninja world full of deadly threats, having a sensor as powerful as Tobirama was like having a walking radar with a brain made for war. That's why many people still see him as one of the greatest ninja of all time, no matter what generation you're talking about.
Sasuke Uchiha.
Sasuke Uchiha, the last surviving Uchiha of Konoha, evolved from a vengeful child into a shinobi of near divine strength. As the second protagonist of the series, his growth parallels Naruto's, and his eventual mastery of powerful visual jutsu solidifies his legacy as one of the strongest Uchiha ever. Sasuke possessed the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which removed the blindness drawback of standard Mangekyo. This allowed him to use techniques like Amaterasu and advanced Susanoo without strain. His Sharingan also gave him unparalleled battlefield awareness, enhancing his reflexes and counterplay. After receiving Hagoromo's power, Sasuke awakened the Rinnegan in his left eye. This Rinnegan granted him access to space-time abilities, including Amino Tejikara, a teleportation swap technique used both defensively and offensively. He could also use Chibaku Tensei to trap tailed beasts, and wield Paths of the Six Paths technique for control and support. His Susanoo reached a complete form and could combine with the chakra of tailed beasts, making it an armored entity with immense destructive power. Sasuke also mastered lightning release techniques, like Chidori and its variants, integrating them with his ocular powers for powerful close-range attacks. Sasuke demonstrated large-scale capabilities during the Fourth Great Ninja War, and later during battles against Momoshiki and other Otsutsuki-level threats. His ability to analyze enemy patterns, adapt mid-fight, and exploit openings made him lethal in solo or team combat. Even after losing his Rinnegan in Boruto, his tactical mastery, Mangekyo Sharingan, and wide array of jutsu kept him relevant at the highest level. Sasuke ranks third for his complete mastery of Eternal Mangekyo, Rinnegan, and Six Paths power. His versatility, combat intelligence, and tailed beast-level chakra put him above most shinobi. However, compared to the top two, his scale and influence fall slightly short in terms of historical dominance and godlike reach. Madara Uchiha, long before, was a living nightmare to every ninja alive. His name, it roared across villages, a warning of chaos and ruin. Step into a fight with him, and you weren't facing a man. You were staring down a tidal wave of chakra, wild and unstoppable. Picture him on the battlefield, eyes glowing with the crimson of his Mangekyo Sharingan, a grin splitting his face as he turned war into his playground. This was Madara at his peak, raw, fierce, and utterly alive. He once battled Hashirama and Tobirama, 2 titans of the ninja world, for a full 24 hours. 24 hours of pure, brutal combat. Most shinobi would collapse, their bodies failing, their spirits broken. Not Madara. Those eyes didn't just see. They pierced through every trick, every move, locking onto his foes like a predator hunting prey. And then came the Susanoo. One after another, he unleashed them, massive, terrifying figures of chakra. First a hulking titan, grotesque and snarling, then a four-armed samurai with wings, slicing the sky apart. Each one towered over the battlefield, a living proof of the endless energy surging inside him. Madara didn't need Edo Tensei's immortality or the Rinnegan's godlike tricks. His chakra alone matched the might of one of the strongest shinobi of his era. He clashed with Hashirama, his lifelong rival, their blows shattering mountains and carving rivers into the earth. The air trembled, the ground screamed, yet Madara stood tall, laughing through the chaos. Jiraiya's power comes from his mastery of Sage Mode, a transformation technique learned on Mount Myoboku. By blending natural energy with his own chakra, he drastically increases his physical strength, speed, sensory abilities, and durability. Though his Sage Mode isn't perfect, since he requires the help of the Elder Toads Fukasaku and Shima to maintain it, he still reaches a tier of power that allows him to compete with the most dangerous enemies of his era. His incomplete Sage Mode demonstrates how high his base capabilities already were before transformation. One of his signature techniques is the Rasengan. Jiraiya learned this technique from his student Minato Namikaze and passed it on to Naruto. Although he didn't create it himself, Jiraiya incorporated Rasengan into his fighting style, using it effectively in both close combat and ambush strategies. Alongside this, Jiraiya's summoning ability grants him access to powerful toads such as Gamabunta, Gamaken, and others, who serve as both allies in battle and chakra-enhanced reinforcements. These summons complement his use of fire-style techniques, especially when combined with toad oil, allowing him to perform devastating area-of-effect attacks like the Toad Oil Flame Bullet. Beyond raw power, Jiraiya also excels in sealing jutsu and tactical warfare. He uses powerful barriers to trap enemies, conduct espionage with small toad clones, and remains calm during high-stress combat. His layered approach to battle, combining strength, deception, and environment control, lets him stand his ground against stronger opponents, even when outnumbered. Jiraiya's legacy is defined by critical achievements. In the battle against Pain, he infiltrated the Rain Village and forced a confrontation with his former student Nagato. Despite facing 6 bodies with shared vision, Jiraiya was able to identify the secret of their coordination and send a coded message through Fukasaku before dying. This clue became the turning point for Naruto's eventual victory over Pain. He also trained Minato, the future 4th Hokage, and Naruto, the hero who would later save the ninja world. Jiraiya's teachings shaped both warriors, not only in terms of jutsu, but also in philosophy, emphasizing peace over revenge. His guidance played a vital role in Naruto's development into a leader. As one of the legendary Sannin, Jiraiya earned his title during the Second Great Ninja War. After surviving a brutal battle with Hanzo of the Salamander, he continued to participate in many hidden missions, taking down members of Akatsuki in the shadows and protecting the Leaf Village from threats that never reached public attention. His personality mixed humor, eccentricity, and deep wisdom. Though often seen as a comic figure, Jiraiya served as the generational bridge between past and future heroes. Naruto. If Sasuke is the ultimate warrior, then Naruto Uzumaki is the ultimate force of nature. His journey from an outcast to the most powerful shinobi in history is unparalleled. But let's talk about what truly puts him this high on the list: Baryon Mode. Against Ishiki Otsutsuki, the most dominant fighter in a 1v1 scenario, Naruto pulled out Baryon Mode, a transformation that not only boosted his abilities, but actively drained his opponent's lifespan with every strike. This wasn't just a temporary power-up. It was a technique that could take down even the most overpowered Otsutsuki in existence. Beyond that, Naruto's base form was already absurdly strong. As the perfect Jinchuriki of Kurama, wielding Sage Mode and the 6 Paths Chakra, Naruto could stand toe-to-toe with gods. He fought and defeated Kaguya, Momoshiki, and countless other enemies that no other shinobi could hope to match. But despite his overwhelming power, there's one reason why he isn't higher. Baryon Mode came at a cost. It drained Kurama's life, meaning that version of Naruto is gone forever. While he is still an elite shinobi, losing Kurama severely impacts his long-term power level. Obito. Now we move from Madara to Obito, aka the man who went from class clown to world-ending supervillain, then back to tragic hero. His glow-up came when he became the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, just like Madara. That transformation gave him all 5 basic chakra types, plus yin-yang release. Obito always had a flair for drama, and the Ten Tails upgrade made him elemental royalty. He used fire release in his Ten Tails form, launching molten-style blasts like a lava cannon. His wind release created huge protective barriers that made it almost impossible to land a hit on him. Lightning? He casually threw out lightning-infused strikes like he was conducting an orchestra of pain. Then we've got Earth Release. He was also seen performing Earth Release techniques on occasion, though he exclusively did so in order to burrow and move underground, letting him augment the battlefield from below or sneak up on opponents. With the white Zetsu matter used as his replacement limbs, Obito could perform Wood Release, combination of earth and water-based chakra. Now, here's where things get insane. With Yin-Yang Release, Obito got access to truth-seeking balls, which let him erase jutsu entirely. And let's not forget, this guy nearly erased Naruto and Sasuke from existence while giving a monologue. You know you're strong when your villain speech comes with particle destruction. Pain? Pain was beyond just a name. It was an ideology. Nagato, once a hopeful child dreaming of peace, had become the embodiment of destruction, wielding the godlike power of the Rinnegan as he sought to force the world to understand true suffering. His mere presence crushed nations, his words shook the shinobi world, and his actions rewrote history. When facing Jiraiya, Pain demonstrated the full might of the 6 paths, dividing his strength across multiple bodies, each possessing a unique ability. As Jiraiya fought desperately, Animal Path summoned relentless beasts. Praita Path absorbed every ninjutsu, and Diva Path used overwhelming force to control the battlefield. Despite Jiraiya's immense skill, he was gradually outmaneuvered and overwhelmed, falling to the very student he had once trained. But this was only a prelude to the true extent of Pain's power. When he invaded Konoha, he didn't come to fight, he came to annihilate. With a single use of Almighty Push, he reduced the village to rubble, proving that against the power of the Rinnegan, no defense was strong enough to withstand him. His abilities made him one of the most formidable shinobi in history, controlling the 6 paths of pain with absolute precision, each body functioning as an extension of his will. Through the Gedo Mazo, he could summon the demonic statue, extracting souls and sealing tailed beasts, while his immense chakra reserves allowed him to maintain his 6 paths simultaneously, making him a seemingly invincible force. Pain's strategy was not about speed or deception. It was about absolute domination. Against Jiraiya, he divided and conquered, systematically dismantling his former master by eliminating all possible openings. When attacking Konoha, he crippled the village's defenses instantly, striking fear into even the strongest shinobi. His battles were statements, proving that his power was absolute. But in the end, the ideology he clung to was shattered, as Naruto, through sheer will and belief in hope, became the first to truly challenge his ideals. Even in his final moments, Pain remained a symbol of power, of destruction, and of a man broken by the very world he sought to change. Might Die. In a ninja world full of geniuses and top-tier jutsu, Might Die, also known as the Eternal Genin, proves that true strength isn't about ranks or titles. Most people underestimated him, but this man was actually the origin of one of the most powerful taijutsu techniques ever seen in Naruto. Since he couldn't use chakra properly, he mastered pure physical combat instead. He became the ultimate master of Hachimon Tonko, 8 gates released formation, a legendary taijutsu technique that required insane training and an unbreakable will. While other ninja focused on boosting their chakra, Might Dai pushed past the natural limits of the human body. Each gate unlocked a new level of power, starting with the first gate, which doubled his strength, all the way to the final death gate, which could turn the user into an almost godlike force at the cost of their life. This was an all-or-nothing fighting style. No tricks, no shortcuts, just raw power capable of shaking the entire ninja world. And that power was enough for him to take down 4 of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, a feat that even top-level jonin would struggle to pull off. However, we never got to see Might Dai fully unleash all 8 gates. Instead, we could see its strength through the next master,